In last week's video, I shared my favorite way of making a granny square, and today I'm continuing on with how to do the join as you go technique. If you missed that first video, I do recommend that you check it out. I go into more detail about how to do a reversible granny square, along with some other tips and tricks. I'm going to show you how to join 4 squares together. Now that does not mean that you have to join all 4 together all the time. You're not doing panels of 4, 4, 4. I'm joining 4 together because that way I can show you all the different scenarios that you can encounter while joining. But this will make more sense as we move on. So starting with the first square out of the 4, we have the one we just made, which is a completed square. And that's really important to remember because the rest of the squares, you'll be working it 1 round less. So for example, here I've done 4 rounds. The rest of the squares that I join from here on out will be 3 rounds. And that's because we are joining to the other squares with that final round. Because I made reversible squares, I need to pay close attention to how I'm joining them. So if you've been following along, you know that I'm starting every round with the back side of the stitch from the previous round facing me. And I want to continue doing it like that for the join as you go. So the finished one, I have the front, the nice smooth side of the stitch facing up. And now the one I'm about to join, I have the bumpy side. If you did everything on the front side, then the square below, you want everything to be facing on the front side as well. You just want to make sure that the square that you're bringing in matches the one above. From here on out, I am not starting in a corner, but I am going to get as close to a corner as I can. I always like to put the square that I'm joining to the top and the one that I'm working on below it. Here are the 2 corners we're going to be joining, and here's the space right before it. That's where I'm going to fasten on. Join into the space using your favorite method and make your first set of 3 double crochets. If you skipped across the granny square segment, I do not do a chain 1 in between my clusters. And here we're going to do half of our corner before we start joining. So that's 3 doubles. For our joins, we're going to do a slip stitch, and there are a couple of ways that you can do it, either with the loop on your hook or off. And I'll show you both ways. And I do recommend that you choose one or the other because they do give a slightly different appearance. Our corners are chain 2. We're going to add the slip stitch in the middle of it. That's what I like to do, but if you want, you can replace one of those chains with a slip stitch. I've done that before as well. But here I am going to do a chain 1, add a slip stitch, and then I'll do the other chain 1. For the loop on the hook, take your hook and go into the corner, go through, grab the yarn, and create a slip stitch. Chain 1. This join will give you a chain on the top of your square. The next option, I've done my chain 1. I'm going to remove the loop from the hook. And this time, same thing, go in, but now pull the loop through the back. And do your chain 1. Doing it this way, the chain sits on the back side of your square. So I say pick one of these and try to stay consistent with it, because even though the looks are subtle, they do make a difference. There is one other way you could do this. Let me get my chain 1 back in there. You can actually sandwich them together. You're essentially going in from the back side of your square and do a slip stitch, and then a chain 1. I like the 2 looks of the other options that I showed you, but this is definitely a valid way to go. I know a lot of crocheters like to do this. So again, just play with these and see what you like best. For this demo, I'm going to leave the loop on the hook. So back to chain 1, I'm going in, pulling the yarn through, slip stitch, chain 1. So now I'm just going to continue on with the round like I normally would, but I'm going to add a slip stitch into the spaces as I go. I haven't finished my corner yet. I need to add 3 more double crochets to complete the corner. Going into the space, pulling the yarn through, add a slip stitch. If you want to add a chain 1 here, you can, to give yourself some wiggle room. I like to keep it as tight as I can, so I don't bother with any kind of chains. Continuing on, I'm completing this square and joining to the one above. 3 double crochets. Slip stitch. Continue on, 3 double crochets. And continuing on, slip stitch, starting my corner, half of it. My corners were a chain 2, so I'm going to do a chain 1, add a slip stitch into the one above to join it, chain 1, and complete my corner. 3 double crochets. And that's all there is to the join. I'm going to continue all the way around, and I'll see you here at the end to fasten off. To fasten off, you can either do a slip stitch into the very top of the beginning stitch that you made, snip your yarn and weave in your ends, or you can do an invisible join, working into the second stitch, not the first one, but the second. Pull the yarn through, back loop only of the previous stitch. And what I like to do is go back in to create a little stitch area in case I want to work in that later. In all these years, I never noticed that before. You basically lose the top of a stitch. So I've just made myself one. Bringing in square 3, the 2 I just finished I put above, and I'm putting the third one down here. I want the back side of this final round to be facing the bumpy side. So smooth side, bumpy side, so when I join, the sides will match. And by the way, you do not have to do the join in this order. If you want to do a strip, then you would just keep joining one side together. You would take this, move it above, and do the join like we just did, and just continue doing that all the way across, and then take that whole strip and move it up just like I'm doing here, and get ready. Same drill. I'm going to start on the side right before a corner, because I'm going to join these 2 corners together. Did my first cluster, starting my first corner, 3 doubles, chain 1. I'm keeping the loop on the hook to do my join. Chain 1, going back into the corner to complete it. Just like before, I'm going to continue adding a cluster in each one of these spaces and joining with a slip stitch in the one above. And I will meet you at this corner. I'm at my corner. I'm doing half of a corner, 3 doubles, chain 1, and here you have a choice. You can either join in this corner or go across to the other corner. I kind of like to do a crisscross join. I feel it gives a really nice hold. So I'm going to cross over, skip this square, and go right across. Go in and pull through. Complete my corner. 3 doubles. When I come in with the 4th square, I'll go over and do the same thing in that opposite corner on the other side. And then continue the round as normal. If you don't want to do the invisible join, then you can just go into the top of the first stitch with a slip stitch and fasten off. And for number 4, I'm going to fit it right into here. The one I'm bringing in, I want to see the back of the final round there, the bumpy side. Here we're joining 2 sides, and it's the same drill. Focusing on a corner, starting before the corner. Adding my clusters in that first space. Working half of my corner. Chain 1. Matching the corners. Going in. Pulling the yarn through. Chain 1. Completing the corner. 3 doubles. I'm going to do a cluster in each one of these spaces while adding a slip stitch in the above spaces. And then I'll meet you here at this corner. Just like normal, just focus on doing half of that corner like you've been doing all the way along. Chain 1. Again, I'm just going to go catty corner and join in the one across or on the diagonal. With the chain 1. Now we're ready to complete the corner. Just like normal. And back to the same scenario, we're going to join to the one above. I'm keeping the loop on the hook. And then continuing on, making my clusters. I'm going to continue on and I'll meet you at the corner. Okay, I've done half of my corner. Time to join to the one above. Chain 1, going in with a slip stitch, chain 1, and completing my corner. Now I'm just going to go all the way around, just like normal, and fasten off using your preferred method. And that's all there is to it. And like I mentioned earlier, you do not have to do it in this order. I just need to do it like this for you so you can see the different ways that you could possibly encounter while joining yours together. That's why this is called the join as you go, because you have so much more freedom with this compared to the continuous join. The question I get most often is, well, what do I do next? Let's say I want to continue going this way, then I would just come here, I want to join right here. I like to rotate everything to where it's above me. I would follow what I showed you for square 2. Let's pretend that you completed this square here. What do you do next? Maybe you want to join this square to this. Again, put it in position. In this scenario, you have 2 sides to join, so I'd follow what I shared for square 4. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, a like is always appreciated. If you have any questions, just drop them in the comments. I'm happy to answer them. If you'd like to learn how to do the continuous join, I recommend that you watch that next. Excuse me, sir. Oh, it's not nap time. I'm trying to record a video. Well, I think you've made it into the blooper reel, so I'll say thanks for watching and see you in the next one.